Hey everybody, it's Adrian from the Totally Average Gamer, and today I want to bring a replay of a game I've recently discovered. It's fairly new. In fact, it's not even officially released yet. The game is still in alpha, and it is called Naval Action. And you can see it's a game of sailing ships, naval combat, in the age of fighting sail. And just take a minute and look at this thing. This is gorgeous. This game caught my attention. I initially saw a couple of replays on it on YouTube. Side Strafe is doing a lot of videos on it. Bismarck is doing a lot of videos. RamJB is very excited about the game. And I thought I would give it a try. It's currently available directly from the publisher's website. I'll put a link to that in the comments of the video below. You order it directly from them, pay via PayPal, and then every Friday they send out a batch of Steam keys, and then you enter the Steam key into Steam, and the game will download from there. Currently, they're trying to get the game into Steam Early Access, so you'll be able to pick it up directly from Steam without having to go through the publisher's website. They haven't been able to do that yet. I'm not sure what the holdup there is, but they're actively pursuing that with Steam. So what we have here is, like I said, the game is in alpha, and there's very limited game modes. Really all you have right now is essentially team deathmatch, which is what we're fighting here. This is a PvE, player versus environment match. There's just two of us in here, two players versus the two computer-controlled, AI-controlled bots that you see there. One is Steed Bonnet, who was an actual or real-life pirate who operated in the first half of the 18th century. He was from Barbados. And then there is a ship labeled Blood, who I assume is Captain Blood from the 1935 movie of the same name. But my first couple of outings in the game, I've just been playing PvE against the bots, just to get a handle for sailing the ships and handling the gunnery. The gunnery is actually, I'm finding, pretty difficult because it is completely manual. You don't have any way to judge the range other than by your eyeball. In that zoomed in view there, you will see the red dash in the middle of the screen. That is essentially your aiming reticle. And you just have to guess how far the enemy ship is away and what the trajectory of your cannonballs are going to be, and it varies based on the type of guns that you have on your ship. Right now I'm just sailing in a little cutter. It's one of the first ships that you are able to unlock and sail. And the cutter, you can see it's a small ship. It doesn't carry very many cannons, and it can't carry very large cannons. So the range on these things is fairly limited. And you have a way to sort of judge the range. You can see him doing it there. You can fire cannons singly by pressing the space bar, and you can see the cannonball and where the splash lands in the water, and that is the only way you have to, until you get some experience, to judge the range of where your shots are going to land. So the idea is when your broadside is loaded, and you can see how slowly you reload if you look at the reload counter in the center of the bottom screen. After you're loaded, you fire single shots until you get the range, and then you can press your mouse button to just unload the whole broadside and hope it hits, because even if you have found the range, it won't necessarily hit. You can see here that even when you're zoomed in and you are holding your mouse steady and you've got the range reticle set where you want it to be, the wave action actually works on the ship and will cause the ship to rock and heel, and as the wind catches the sails, it will push the ship over to one side, and it'll cause your range reticle to move up and down. And so aiming is very difficult. It's hard to get the hang of, but that's part of what makes the game fun, in my opinion. Sailing with these small ships that have the fore and aft rigs are not is not too bad. You have to worry very much about the wind direction. You can see in the bottom left-hand corner, you have a compass that shows the attitude of your ship towards the wind. You see the arrow there as it spins around. That's showing the direction that the wind is blowing from. And you have to be very conscious about pointing your ship head to the wind. You'll slow down, and in larger ships, you'll actually, what will happen is that if you get the wind coming directly in front of you, your ship will just stop and start to move backwards if you don't handle the sails correctly. It's called being in irons. And it's just one more thing to be aware of in the game. They've tried to make sailing of the ships as real to life as it can possibly be without being too incredibly tedious. You definitely have to worry about the attitude of the ship and the position of the sails and the wind, and we'll talk more about that in later videos. You can't really see it too much because it's not too important with these smaller ships. With larger vessels, it definitely is. And I just want to point out again, I said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Just look at this game and remember that this is just an early alpha test. All they're trying to do right here is to get player feedback on the various game systems and how the combat and sailing works. This team deathmatch mode that is currently available is just a very small part of what's going to be available in the game when it goes live. It's going to be a completely open world. As I understand it, you are going to be able to essentially choose a career. What do you want to do? Do you want to be a pirate? Do you want to be a privateer? Do you want to be Captain James Cook and go out and discover the Hawaiian Islands? Do you want to be a trader? It's basically going to be an open world, sort of along the lines of what, if you're familiar with it, what Chris Roberts is promising with his game Star Citizen. The big difference between Star Citizen and Naval Action is that the developers of Naval Action seem to actually be making progress on their game. So you can see the interface along the bottom. You are able to, on the left hand, it shows your ship's status, the amount of crew you have left, the condition of your sails, the type of sail setting that you have set. I don't know if you've noticed, but my sail has been going up and down as you choose different sail settings. You can have full sails right now, which is what I have raised currently with all the sails set, and that's going to give you your fastest speed. You don't always want to be going at your fastest speed though. Sometimes you're going to want to lower your sails to stay in behind someone, and you can do that by using the W and S keys, raise and lower the sails. A and D keys are your turn left, turn right. In the center left of the screen, or center or bottom left of the screen, you'll see you have the different types of ammo. You can load different types of ammunition into your guns. Right now you're able to load ball shot, which is just your basic cannonball useful for destroying the ship's hull. You can load double shot, which is effectively 2 cannonballs, which does more damage but has significantly shorter range. You can load chain shot, which is used for taking down rigging, and you can also load grape shot, which is essentially turns your cannons into giant shotguns that you use to try to destroy the enemy ship's crew. It's important to take out the crew members. The fewer crew you have, particularly in the larger ships, as you start to lose crew, your ships handle very, very poorly. They're slower to turn, you're slower to reload, your sails are slower to change conditions when you order the sails to change conditions. So it's important to take out the crew. You're not going to kill a ship by taking out all the crew, but causing crew casualties is a good thing to do. In the lower right center, I guess you would say, you can see that you have the number 5, 6, 7, and 8 keys. 6, 7, and 8, you can tell your crew what you want them to concentrate on doing. And you can see right now I have 6 selected, and that means that the crew's attention is mostly going to be focused on sailing the ship around. The ship will maneuver quicker, your sail settings will change quicker. It's just they're more focused on seamanship than they are anything else. If you choose 7 gunnery, your guns will reload faster. They might end up being more accurate, I'm not sure about that. They definitely load faster though. And 8 is your survival mode, and I've been lucky in this match against the bots where I have taken essentially no damage. But if you do take damage and if your ship starts to leak, you're going to want to put the crew into survival mode, and they're going to try to patch up the leaks, and they will start pumping the water out of the ship so that you don't sink. And then the number 5 key is your, they call them repair kits. I don't prefer to think of them as repair kits like you would in, I don't know, like World of Tanks terms. But you can make your crew perform repairs. If you're taking a lot of hull damage, which you can see in the upper right corner there, Captain Blood, you can see his port and starboard hulls he's taking a lot of damage. And you can use these repair kits to repair your hull damage. You can repair damage to your sails if your sails have taken a lot of hits so that you don't slow down, you can sail better. And you'll also see in the upper left corner of the screen my ship display labeled rudder, pump, and magazine. Particularly if guys get in behind you and start shooting you in the stern, your rudder is very likely to become damaged or destroyed, and that makes it very difficult, essentially impossible to turn the ship. And the repair kits can also be used to repair that damage. And if your pumps are damaged or destroyed and you start to take leaks and start to take on water, you won't be able to pump it out fast enough to stay afloat. So your repair kits can be used for those types of things as well. And you can see this match is just about over. Like I said, the bots they don't play very well. They don't seem to use their repair kits very often, and they're definitely not efficient at choosing the crew skills like the survival mode and whatnot. They just don't do it. And frankly, they're not very good shots either. So the PvE mode is useful for learning how to sail the ship, and very useful in learning how to use the guns to aim. But in terms of gameplay, it's not very entertaining. You definitely want to be playing in the PvP modes. But playing your first couple of matches, particularly with a new ship, playing the first couple of matches in the PvE sandbox is, I think, a good idea. It gives you a good handle for what's going on here. And I hope you guys have been looking at just the graphics in this game, because I can't say it enough. It's just it's a beautiful game. And if they're able to deliver on the open world version of the game the way they're promising, and if they can make that as good as they have made this deathmatch combat test mode of the game, it is just going to be amazing. I've been waiting for a game like this basically my whole life, since I was a kid, and used to play Avalon Hill's Wooden Ships and Iron Men, which was a board game back many years ago, which we won't even talk about how long it's been. But this game is just amazing. If you guys want to check it out, I'll put the links to the Game Labs website, the Naval Action website, below in the comments, and you can order directly from the manufacturer and pay with it by PayPal and get into the match. I'll see you out there. This is Adrian.